I'm Deborah.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Karis. Welcome to the DOK.
Why did you?
Oh, I thought okay. Well, I'm ready.
Rerun. I'm Deborah.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Karis.
Welcome to the DOK Podcast.
Well, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Great.
Can you believe we're back?
Yes, I can.
You can?
Because we said we were going to go back.
And we're here.
We are here for episode 2. I'm feeling a little calmer today.
I'm glad because that was a lot.
Yeah.
I was overstimulated.
Yeah,
You were overstimulating me.
She had a hot flash last
It was too much.
time.
I was definitely stressed the last time. So I'm feeling a little more relaxed. So how's everybody doing? How was everybody's week?
It was great.
Low-key don't know what happened this week. Like, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, it was fun.
It was
It
fun.
was long.
Yeah.
Grandma tired. I'm tired.
Was this your first full week of work, Olivia, or was this your second week?
I don't know. I don't know what to consider this. I don't think I'm getting paid for this week, so I guess not.
It's been a tough transition into the work life, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're here for episode 2, and we wanted to start off before we jump into our topic, which is a good topic, right?
Yes, we're in the
Yes.
fishbowl.
We're going to fishbowl
Again.
for a little bit. So who wants to grab something?
Deborah.
Me. Okay. What's one thing that instantly tells people we're related?
I think people look at us, at me and you.
Yeah. But I feel like we all have like very similar personalities. Kind of.
How so?
Cuz we're all like I don't know, we're crazy.
I feel like you're
Wow.
the least crazy out of everybody, though. Okay,
Really?
maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay.
Once the witching hour hits, then you just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think as you all get older, everybody says you all look more alike for sure.
Yeah. And I think the older I get, the more things I say that I'm like, oh my gosh, mom literally would say that.
Picking up my good habits.
I guess. If that's what you want to call it.
All right.
I'll pick from here too, or is that one?
You just want to pick away. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just
pick
asking.
away.
Pick
away.
away.
Pick away.
For
This is-
sure.
These are like deeper.
The world is your
questions.
oyster. Go ahead. Oh.
Oh, it's our little thing. What does faith in God, love at home, purpose in life mean to you personally?
Well, I wonder. I feel like, is it not kind of straightforward? Faith in God.
Yeah, it's like the 3 things: faith, love, and purpose.
Yeah. I don't think you answered the question.
No, I mean like 3. Like I feel like that's the 3 things in life. Like faith, love, and
right.
purpose.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Like I don't
think
know.
that's great.
Yeah, I think for me, faith in God is just that, ensuring that I'm living out my faith in God every day. Love at home, just ensuring that we have a home that's full of love and that we're loving each other and loving God. And then that we're all moving towards our purpose in life, because that's really what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
3 ways to live life:
Amen.
faith, love, purpose.
Okay. Anywho, let me just. Oops. We'll get that later.
She's dropping out.
How many of these are we doing?
Like a couple.
Okay.
What is I hate that word. Quirky habit that all 3 of us share.
What does quirky mean?
Mom.
Like awkward, silly,
It's an
goofy.
awkward habit.
Yeah.
That all 3 of us share.
I don't know. We all have random outbursts. Like
That is true.
like she sings,
Yes, I do.
you scream.
Okay, I do.
I do everything. Anything that comes to mind.
She has so many vocal stems. Like, it's crazy.
It's TikTok.
It's TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a vocal stem?
It's something that you say.
Like all the time.
Okay.
Like you hear something on TikTok and it's like when I say like, oh, so cute. Like that's
Lita
like
Bita Bodaba.
Lita Vida.
Oh, Oh, so it's like a TikTok
Emerald shade
saying.
green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can we just pause before we get too started?
Mm-hmm.
So my hair was messed up the whole last episode, and nobody told me.
Deborah did
And
tell her,
so
by the way.
if
did
if
tell
my
By the
hair
way.
is messed up, can we just have an agreement that somebody will tell me because I can't really see it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, please don't let me
Okay.
go the whole episode.
So can you separate the bottom part?
What do you mean?
Like the
Like
yeah,
you
there you
put
go.
your hair like
You do it.
in, like you gotta pull it out.
But if you like it, do you, boo? I don't know what to say.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
If
As
you
long
like
as
your
it's
hair
just
like
not
that, you like your hair like
poofing out, just make sure you tell me. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anywho,
All
are we
right.
gonna do another one?
You wanna do now? Okay. What do you think the biggest Whoa.
Oh, yikes. Take a sec. Breathe.
Rerun.
What do you think is the biggest distraction keeping young women from chasing God's purpose today?
Whoa.
That's deep.
The question said young women, so I'll defer to the two of you.
No, but like you have a view of young women, like
I do.
a outside view.
And you were once many moons ago a young woman.
I am still a young woman. 50
You're
is
young,
the
but
new
no.
20, right?
It's not. It's not. I am 20.
No, but
You
like,
are 50.
I'm curious. Like, what do you think the biggest distraction?
Yeah, maybe you should just stop talking.
the biggest distraction
Distraction.
from keeping young women from
Seeing God, or finding what?
Chasing God.
chasing
No.
God.
Yes.
Oh, it was
isn't that-
chasing God's purpose
Yeah.
today.
God's purpose. For them?
For that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I would probably say I think one of them is just the pressures of society. I think there's so much noise coming at you all from every angle, and there's so much pressure to be and think and do all of these things that are not, that are really just society's views. And so I think it's hard to kind of like sift through all of that noise and really focus on God and who he says you are and what he has called you to do. I just think there's just so much noise out there. So much noise. Social media.
Real loud out here.
It's real loud. Like,
The societal expectations.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I think it's just there's so much pressure coming from so many different angles at you all the time. And then it's always in your face with the phone and social media. Like, it's always before you. We didn't have that in that same kind of way. I mean, we had our own challenges and pressures, but you all have something just always in front of you all the time. You can see what everybody's doing all of the time, all over the world.
That leads us into our topic.
It does? It does. But let's answer that question. I'm curious from what you all,
No, I agree.
from your perspective, what do you
Yeah.
think is the biggest challenge?
I agree.
Social media. But like, there's different
I do think that
things.
leads in.
It does.
Okay.
Especially her saying
Wow.
social media. That can lead you into a comparison trap.
All right. So let's pick up our topic today, which is the comparison trap.
Yes.
So who wants to start? I mean, I have a question. Olivia,
Okay,
have
what's
you
your question?
ever found yourself in a comparison trap?
Of course. And I think the comparison trap, I think it changes as you get older. At least for me. I think it starts, I don't know. At least for me, I think it starts with I don't know. For me, it started with what my family has compared to other people. So Deborah's still there. We went to a private school, a PWI, all these really rich white kids with these big houses. All of our friends, well, I'll speak for myself. All of my friends had these huge houses. I'm like, they got rooms with bathrooms in it. The four of us share one bathroom. Our house was one floor of their basement. And so that was hard for me. All the cars that they had, we don't upgrade our cars often. And so I'm like, they got the 2016 Rover and we got a 2005 Sebring. Like, I'm not getting dropped off at
R.I.P.
school.
Sebring.
Not R.I.P. Thank you.
Love that car.
And then I think it took me a long time to get over that. And then, and just to acknowledge, just to like be grateful that I had a house, that we had a car, that, you know, like, and not worry about what I don't have or that somebody else, or what scale it is, like how small or big my house is. And then to looks, I'm like, man, all these white girls with straight hair, like I wish I had straight hair and blonde hair and I was a little lighter and all this stuff. And then outside of school, I was like, man, I wish I was darker. Because now it's just like it never ends. Like you just,
Yeah.
if you look at yourself and you compare yourself in all the different contexts you're in, you're never ever going to be happy. I'm like, outside of school, I want to be darker. In school, I want to be lighter. Outside of school, my house is too big. In school, my house is too small. Like, it's just, I go to the wrong, outside of school, I'm rich because I go to this school. In school, like, it's just like it never ends. And then you get older, and then maybe it's still looks, maybe it's like body type. And then now for me, it's like professionally, where am I at? Oh, this person is interning for the NBA in LA.
Yeah.
And I'm in Pittsburgh doing what? You know, I'm interning an organization nobody outside of Pittsburgh's ever heard of. So it's like, that's where I'm at now.
Wow.
I
That's a
think it's
lot.
true.
Yeah. That's good.
Like low key, like I feel like that first, like I feel like I'm in those stages. Not the,
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of growing out like the first one, like comparing like I don't know, like home life and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like now as a teenage girl, it's looks.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
You glowing, no boo.
I know, it was
You
a little-
glowing.
It was a little too much.
That glow recipe.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No, I'm wearing Elf Halo Glow.
Oh, okay. You still glowing?
Yeah, I mean, so maybe we can unpack that a little bit because I
Yeah.
think you touched on a lot of topics. I think the first one is just kind of like material things,
Yeah.
like comparing your life in terms of like what you have materially to what other people have. And that's interesting because when I was young, I think for me, I grew up at a time where, I didn't have much and most of the people around me didn't have much. And so I didn't have to deal with that type of situation where it was like, oh, I have all of these friends that have all of these material things, but I don't. I mean, we grew up, as you all know, relatively, poor. And so in a really, difficult neighborhood. And so most of the people around me we didn't have those extremes, right?
Yeah.
Most of the people were, you know, had similar means. But I think for me, what I did struggle with, and I think was the foundation for my kind of just insecurities, was I always compared myself academically to my siblings. So I have there's 5 of us I have 5 siblings that have the same mom and dad, and then I have 2 half siblings. But of the 5 of us, I'm the second oldest, and I have an older sister, and then I have 3 younger brothers. And my older sister was always so smart. She was in gifted classes. She was always, just did really, really well academically. And then the brother right under me also was gifted, super smart. They both are just amazing people. But at the time when I was young, I can remember this one time because back then report cards came in the mail.
Oh my.
They didn't just
Not the physical report
Yes,
card.
it came
Wait,
in the
but I feel
mail.
like we also had physical report cards.
Did you at one point?
Maybe
I
when
feel
you
like-
were in kindergarten.
No, didn't we? I feel like they would put it online, but since we didn't have access to like our like school.
Oh, when
on
you
the-
were little.
Yeah, they'd mail them to us too.
Oh. Beats me.
Well, ours came in the mail. And I can remember a time when I got my report card and I just took it and ran upstairs and hid under the bed. And my mom, Grammy, as you all called her, she came up and she's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like, "I know everybody's report card is so much better than mine." my sister's name is Heather, so smart, and my other brother is Billy. They're so smart, and they probably have all A's and B's, and I have C's, and I was just like so devastated. And so for me, when I think about comparison, I think that was where it first started for me, just always comparing myself like academically to my siblings. And I can remember another time where my sister and brother too, they both were in gifted classes, and I remember my mom had me tested for gifted.
Oh,
And I'll never forget being in that room and then finishing all of the tests. And then mom came to the door and the teacher went out. And I just remember she was like, she's not gifted.
Wow.
And
no,
I
she's
was
not
just like,
gifted.
oh my gosh. I was like, she's not gifted. So those were just like some early on things where I can just remember being like just so devastated, like my sister's gifted, my brother's gifted, but I'm not gifted, and so comparing myself to them, and then feeling like I didn't measure up.
Yeah.
And so those were some of like my early remembrances of just always looking around and seeing what everybody else is doing, and then realizing like, wait a minute, if I don't achieve those exact same things in the exact same way, that
Yeah.
somehow I'm less than, or I'm not as smart, or as they are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. And I think that I don't know for you, but that was a thing
don't say this.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
The
at
school we
school.
went to, academics are a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's you test into the school. We went in. You went in pre-K, and I went in first grade. And we just talked about this the other day. I cheated on my test, so
Yeah.
Oh my
I couldn't spell
gosh.
elephant. So I looked. Shout out. I'm not gonna say her name,
Please
but
don't.
I remember her name too. Um, but yeah, academics are a huge thing at our school. And I think they did a decent job as much as they can to not make it seem like you were separated by like math levels and stuff like that. Like it wasn't like, oh, you're in, until you get to high school, it wasn't like you're in honors geometry, you're in honors this. They started separating us, I think, by level in probably sixth grade. But it never like, who is smarter. But I don't know how it is for you guys, but for us, they kind of separated it. No, I think, and that was good knowing that academics were such a big part of like the school that we're at. But I do think that was a big comparison thing in middle school and high school. But is that something for you?
Yeah.
Do you go through
But
that
it
now?
was no, it was actually in lower school they would separate
Mm,
us. And
really?
I remember in first grade, pre-COVID,
Oh
I was
gosh.
in like the separated for like the like smarter. We always called it them the smarter class.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was in it, and then I remember after COVID all my math skills went downhill
Yeah.
because I didn't do any school in COVID. Yeah, yikes. So like after COVID, I would not be in like I was never in the smarter math class,
Yeah.
and that was hard. But I feel like now, since that happened when I was like younger, now I kind of just know like my abilities and like
Yeah.
school and stuff, so it's not really a big deal to me. Cause like I know I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Mhm.
Like I know like if I'm not supposed to be in that math class, then like I'm not supposed to be in that math class.
Yeah.
Can I just say though, you did get like a 99 point something in math.
Well, she didn't give us like any test, like my math teacher.
You're downplaying it. I'm
Yes.
just saying, like,
Okay,
just
yes.
receive the. I
I
mean,
do receive it.
yeah, you received it. You absolutely knocked it out the park this year, math, for sure.
Yeah.
Like a 99 point something's crazy.
I had a
So
great teacher.
yeah, okay,
Period.
yeah. So definitely in school, you guys can see where like the comparison trap can kind of get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like so many different ways.
Yeah. What are some other
And that
ways?
school is so small that
Mhm.
everybody knows everybody's business. Everybody knows where everybody lives. Everybody knows everybody's families to, a certain extent. I think some more so than others, but it's just everybody knows so much about everyone that it's like you can't help but compare the type of cars that everybody drives. I know for like once everybody started driving, I
Mm.
got a car. I'm very, I got to the point where I was, very grateful. I mean, I was always grateful for it, but once I got to school, I was like, oh, I'm driving my '05 Corolla with the window that you have to crank down next to the homegirl's G-Wagon. Like, her like 20, I don't know what year it was, 2021, 22 G-Wagon. Like, this is so insane. Or this person got the Rover whose handles go in and out of the car. Like, and so for a while, I wouldn't even park in the school's parking lot.
I
I
remember.
would park down the street and walk onto campus because I was like, I don't want anybody seeing what car I drive when they all got like, I don't even got automatic windows. Like, I'm not, and it's like, it's hard because now I'm looking like, that's so dumb. Like, you were gifted a car, like, period. Like, you were able to drive. Some people, and I didn't look at it this way, but some people at the school, I mean, most people had cars, but I'm like, some people didn't even have a car at all. Some people, still have to ride the bus or still their parents still have to drop them off. And, whatever. There's just, so many things to be grateful for in that situation alone. But all I could think about was like, these people have Jeeps, they have G-Wagons, they got Rovers, they got Jaguars, like, like they have all these nice cars. And I saw myself like, I'm stuck with this, like this little janky car. And so it took me till like probably, I don't know if it was the end of junior year or senior year for me to actually park in the parking lot, which was like something, eventually I overcame and I was like, I have my, like, nobody cares what car I drive. Like, no, it took me somebody else who has a big house, big, all that stuff, who had a car similar to mine that I saw that and I was like, oh, homeboy has I seen his house is huge and he got a little car like mine. So I can park and his friends are still cool with him.
Yeah.
And they still, they'll ride in his car too. So I can park in the parking lot too now. And so, it shouldn't take seeing somebody else in a similar situation for you to be okay with what you have. But that's how I got it, and then I kind of realized all the other things, like just be grateful that you even have a car, that you have a license, that all of that other stuff.
Yeah. I feel like that's like a little like unfortunate though that like you feel like you have to have like good like rich materialistic things to be like accepted, and that's the
Yeah.
problem in our world.
That is. And I don't think car wise and maybe house wise, like nobody's ever like came up to me and was like, you don't have this, your house looks like this, your car looks like this, like to make me feel that. I think it's just, but like you said, that's the sad part, is just like an unspoken expectation of you to have X, Y, and Z. But there was one time, I think it was sometime in lower school, I had this one good friend, and to me, her house was big, but somebody else in the cafeteria, we had like had a sleepover or something at her house. And then somebody else was like, oh, so-and-so's house is so small. And I was like, oh, nobody's ever coming to my house if y'all think her house is small. And I'm just like, yeah, just smile and nod. Cause I'm like, I like homegirl's house. That's nice. So that's when I was like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nobody, that might have been like third or fourth grade. And I think maybe one person had ever come over to my house. Like play dates were never at our house. I always went to other people's houses or like, yeah. And that's when I was like, oh, nah, none of y'all are coming to my house. And then I think it wasn't until like maybe 8th grade where like I got my friends and they would come over. And I was like, I don't know if it's because they were black or what, but I felt comfortable for them coming over. But yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you bring up the car, I think, because that was a situation that I got really frustrated with and I couldn't understand. And so I remember when you used to park down the street from the school and even, just kind of like your original disposition towards the car. And it was just like, oh my goodness, as somebody who grew up in like extreme poverty, where it's like, there were instances where we didn't have water or food, or
Yeah.
electricity or gas. And I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, she's so ungrateful. Like, what is she, she doesn't appreciate this. And I remember your dad and I had this conversation about like, should we let you drive one of the other cars? And I just remember your dad was like emphatically like, she just should be grateful she has that car, you know. It was gifted to her, and it was a great car in the
It
sense
was
of
in
like,
great condition,
yeah, it was
for
in great
sure. For
condition.
being as old as
Yeah.
we were the same age. Me and the car was the same age.
It had
It
like
was in
low
better condition than
miles.
me.
But and it did have the crank up windows, which was like hilarious. But it was this moment where I couldn't relate because I just couldn't understand how you couldn't be why you weren't so grateful, because I'm like, we like my parents didn't have cars, like we didn't own a car,
Yeah.
nobody I knew had a car. I'm growing up, and here's this, girl with a car that somebody gave her, and she's acting like she's a little embarrassed by it. But in hindsight, looking back, like, I can understand how you were kind of dealing with your things.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was hot.
Yeah. And it made, I think like it, yeah. I never, like the whole time, there's so many I mean, it's a great school. And looking back, like I'm grateful that our parents could send us to this school. But I don't think, and like you just said, like like they never understood what you have to go. And you
Yeah.
can't, unless you're in it,
Yeah.
unless you're in this specific situation with these specific people, with the, like you don't understand. And I think looking out, it's like, why is she embarrassed of our family's car? Why is she embarrassed of our house? Why is this, and that? But until you're in it and you're like in the midst of all this stuff and you're riding in people at private drives and like
Yeah.
you're in third grade and you're like, oh my gosh, like on top, I'm the only Black person and I don't have this big, like I don't have anything to make up for the fact that I'm Black and not white. Like it's just, it's
Yeah.
so much stuff that it's like overwhelming. And it's like, let me just, you know, it's just like, it's so hard. It's so difficult. And in high school, I was like, probably middle school and high school, I was like, I never would do this to my kids. Like it made me, there was one point I was so upset at my parents. Like I was like, I don't understand why they would do this to me. Why wouldn't they put me in my district school with people that I've played sports with and grew up with and that I'm friends with and that I'd be a normal person with? Like I can just be Black. I can, we all live in the same neighborhood. So my house isn't considered small. Our cars aren't considered whatever. Like I can just be and not have to worry about like this whole, back and forth. And in different contexts, like I wouldn't be an outside of school because I'd be with them. And they wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, you're so rich because you go to this. Like, it was just so much stuff. I was so upset. I was so mad for like a long time. And I was like, I just want a normal experience. I don't want to have to go through this. The teachers are weird. The school was weird. The people were like, everything was just so much. And I was like, I would never want to do this to my kids ever in my life. Now I see both sides of it, but like, it was just so hard.
Sorry. I'm sorry. We had good intentions. Good intentions.
Good intentions.
Good intentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if you go through anything similar or I feel like I was extreme. I don't know if you go to,
Like, you were
and now I
extreme?
like wait. I'm like, okay, what kind of car is Deborah gonna get? Like now I like wait, and it's the comparison of the older and younger sibling too.
Oh no.
There's another comparison, like, oh, Deborah got social media when she was like 4, and I had to wait till I graduated 8th grade. And it was like so hard because everybody in middle school used Snapchat to communicate. Like Instagram didn't really matter. That was when Musical.ly turned into TikTok and everybody was embarrassed to have it. So nobody used that. I was like, I can't even talk to people. Like nobody texts anymore. Like, what am I, like you're out of the loop. You're out of everything. The group chats are on Snapchat. And then I get to high school and mom's like, oh, Deborah, you can have whatever you want. And I was like, man, like, what is this? Like, this is ridiculous. So there's so many ways you can compare yourself. And sometimes you might even do it without even thinking like it's comparison. Like you just look at things and you just think about it. And you don't even look at it as like you comparing yourself to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. The comparison trap is real for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the trap is open. Like you can get out. Like you put yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I think you keep yourself in it. I think you can naturally fall into things. Like I think when you're younger, it's easy and it's natural to like have those like automatic thoughts and comparisons. But I think it's whether you keep yourself in it or you let yourself out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have any thoughts?
No, not
You
really.
agree? Saying?
Yeah.
Is that what they do? Saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think even as a older woman, I think even right now today, I even can find myself in comparison traps.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I have a really good friend who, really, really good friend who gets a lot of awards. She gets a lot of awards.
She do.
And I love supporting her, and I love and she deserves them. Like, she deserves
Mhm.
them all because she's amazing at her craft. She's gifted. And so it makes sense, but even at this age, sometimes I can, find myself saying, when was the last time I got an award? I haven't
Yeah.
gotten an award lately. Is my work not valuable? Do people not consider what I'm doing important? Why does she
Yeah.
get all of the awards? And so even those are like quick thoughts in my head. Even
Yeah.
now I still am, those those thoughts pop up, or those things pop up where I start to compare myself, even around things professionally.
Yeah.
And that was one area that I was like, wow, wait a second, why am I comparing myself to her? But it was just, it was a thought I had. It was a quick thought, but it was
Yeah.
real, and I had it and I felt it for a second. And so it's something that I think always has the potential to come up.
Yeah. I think. Oh, go ahead. You haven't
No,
talked a lot today. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I have similar, like, relations to that because I have, like, well, everybody has, like, their, like, friends and stuff that, like, have, like, that are smarter in certain areas and, like,
Yeah.
better at sports and these things. But I think it's just important. Like, I was at we had a leadership convention at school, and we got, like, this, like, deck of cards, and it had, like, I don't know, like 40 cards in it with, like, so many different, like, gifts. And it was, like, the most, like, randomest things. And we had to, like, write down every single card that we thought or we had to, like, put a pile of, like, everything that we thought might be our gift, because we were trying to, like, find, like, what our gift was and, like,
Okay.
leadership kind of. So we did, like, a little bracket. So we'd flip over, like, 2 cards and pick which one we thought, like, was more so our gift. And it just, I don't know, going through all the cards, it just made me, like, realize that there's so many things that, like, you can be gifted in. And I think maybe because I see my friends or, like, other people, like, excel or do well in this certain area that I lack and I don't do well, and that I miss out on, like, realizing that I have a gift in a different area.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just important to realize that, like, you're gifted and you're blessed in ways that, like, other people may not be.
Yeah.
And, like, other people are blessed in ways you aren't. And it kind of reminds me of, like, the body of Christ, how we're all, like, different parts of the body. Like, somebody's the arm, somebody's the leg, somebody's the head. But, like, your body can't function without your feet. Like, you may not be the arm, but the body still needs
Yeah.
the mouth,
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
everybody has their own different things. And I think you just have to realize, like, hey, what do I have? Because I think when we get so caught up in other people's lives and what do other people have, we miss, like, what we have.
Yeah.
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 For sure. I think spiritual comparison is a big thing for me too. Like, like looking at what other people, like, seem to be and
Yeah.
how other people seem to live and, like, appear. Like, I look at people and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're, like, holier than thou. Look at me, like, you know. And I think, like, I'm like looking at these people who are maybe my age, that are speaking at conferences or, like, leading worship or doing, like, preaching somewhere, or even people that might be a little bit older or even younger. And it's like, why is my faith not like that? Why am I, why is that not my journey? Like, why won't God turn something around in me so that I can do that? Or, like, and it's like, you can't look at things, you can't see a reel of somebody preaching on Instagram, or, like, pictures of somebody doing this, or, like, pictures of somebody, like, praying over someone else or something like that, and think that that is their whole life, and that they don't, you know, they weren't just convicted of something yet last night, or
Right.
they didn't, do this morning, or that they don't go through things as well. And I think just like when comparing yourself, one, trying not to at all, but when looking at things, like even if you're, talking to somebody, or like you think you know them because you're, you see them every day or something like that, like you don't know people, you don't know people's life. And I think in this, like what I'm talking about right now, like you don't know people's journeys, you
Yeah.
don't know people's faith journeys. Nobody is perfect. And I think you looking at other people, like it's just, yeah. And thinking that, like, why am I not here? I'm not, worthy of God's love like this person, or because and one thing that like always sticks with me is by grace alone, like you're here, and it's not by like these works. So you can't compare what somebody else is doing to you and think like I'm not, God doesn't love me like he loves them because they're preaching his word to nations.
Yeah.
And I'm just little old me just trying to graduate college and get some money. Like, but like I like that. And that is a tattoo I want.
What?
By grace alone, because it
Mhm.
reminds you, and that's not an excuse to not try your best to live as Christ-like as possible, or to purposefully sin, or like it's not an excuse, like not to try to live the way God wants you to as best as you can, but also not to like dim yourself down, or like be so hard on yourself, or believe that you're
Yeah.
not worthy of
Yeah.
God's love because you're looking at other people that might be on a stage or on a bigger scale or have a bigger platform or doing things that you aren't doing. um it's just like you're here and God has you on a different purpose. So I think you just can't keep yourself in this trap, because it'll just take you down. Then, like you said, you're not going to be able to fully discover what you're here for and
Yeah.
what you're meant to do if you're sitting back and looking and dwelling on like what you're not doing. You're never going to find out what you're supposed to be doing, what your purpose in life is.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that, Deborah?
Well, I mean, I think I said my thoughts and then she built on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's another comparison I was talking to my friends about during the school year, when you first started making videos, like, and posting them on TikTok or whatever, on Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, like my little sister's out here like making videos about the Bible and like her interpretation of thing, like whatever. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, and I'm like, man, last week we just went out to a party and my sister, like really, like,
Yeah.
and I was like, what am I like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like it just, you know, and that was like a big thing for me for a little bit of time, but it was a big thing for a little bit of
Yeah.
time. And I was like, do I need, and I was like, I like to post videos, but I'm not posting about the Bible and about God. Like, is that something I need to be doing? Do I need to be doing this? Like, just things like that, just little things can like just consume your life. And even if it's for a little bit, like you said, yours was like just a quick thought, but it was there. Like,
Yeah.
it just can take you, and it can take you down, even if it's only for a second. It just like, and then it
Yeah.
can manifest itself into your daily life, even if you're not thinking about it every day. And then you look at, and it just kind of can take over your life, because you're like looking like, oh man, how can I be more like her?
Yeah.
How can I,
Yeah. Yeah.
what do I do to, I just got to read my Bible an extra 5 minutes today. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
to throw in this Bible verse when I make a get ready with me, like things
Yeah.
like that. But that's not, that's not what you're supposed to, you can't live like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
God doesn't want you to live like that. I'm not meant to be Deborah, or I'm not meant to be Amy Brookins, or, Sadie Robertson, or JC Shire. Like, like I'm not supposed to be these people. So why are you why are you comparing yourself so harshly to the works of other people,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
works aren't even going to get you where you're supposed to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I was actually thinking about like, cause like I also do that too, like compare myself to like other Christian influencers and stuff. But like I realized when I was thinking about it, cause like I don't know, I always try to like, I always get scared and like worried that I'm not being like the best representation of Christ. Like I'll accidentally, like, I don't know, unintentionally say like a mean joke or something to like
Yeah.
my friend, and I'll be like, oh no, is that what, like, because I obviously want all my friends and like family to be like saved and stuff, and like see God and know Jesus.
Yeah.
But like I put pressure on myself to be like almost be like Christ, and like
Yeah.
I like have to like bring myself down and be like, that's like God's job to be God, and
Yeah.
I'm just like
Yeah.
like God, that's God's job to like turn it around. And I don't know, I just find myself like wondering, like, do people see Christ in me? Am I being the best representation of Christ to people? Like, are people gonna think like this is what Christianity's like because I'm not like perfect or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, are people
Yeah.
gonna wanna come to God because like, does my life look different than theirs? Do they see a change? Do they see hope? Do they see purpose in Christianity? Or they're just like, it's just another weird girl who reads her Bible. Like, why would I want to be like her? Like, why? Like, I feel like I label like Christianity in my mind as something that's like hopeful, and like people should look at Christians and be like, I want that. But it's just like, it's hard because like I always put pressure on myself. Like, do people look at me and say I want what she has, or do they just look at me as someone who's like weird and like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
that's like been hard for me.
Yeah.
So how do you all like refocus or get off the comparison wheel? Like if it's a hamster wheel and you're kind of like spinning, what are some things that you all do to like redirect your mind, refocus, reset? And what do you think is like at the root of comparison? Like, why do you think we compare ourselves to other people in all of these different ways, whether it's materialistic, spiritually, academically, professionally? Like, why do we do that? Like, what do you think is the root behind it?
I think it's when we like remove ourselves from the presence of God, and we um like, I don't know, when we like get like further away from him and we start comparing ourselves to man. And I think that goes back to like what I was saying earlier, like um not caring what God thinks about me, like caring so much about what other people see me, and like, do people see the Christ in me? Like, okay, what does God see in you? Like, care about like how God sees you, and like your inner thoughts, and like your heart, and like your will, and your like intentions. Like, how does God see you? Like, stop caring about how like you see me, or how like
Yeah.
anybody else sees me, and start worrying about like, how does God see you? Because God knows your heart, God knows what
Yeah.
you're doing. And if you're spending too much time worrying about if other people see like the Jesus in you, you're not like, impress God, like do it for God.
Yeah.
And then when you're living your life for God, and you're thinking like, what would Jesus do, then other people will start to see that. But when you just strive to impress other people, and you strive for them to receive something that you're trying to give, you miss God. And we can't do anything apart from God.
Yeah.
So it's like, when there's absence of God in your life, like you
Yeah.
don't prosper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also like stemming from that, I think it might also be like you don't want to like admit this, but it's like your lack of faith, like that. At least for me, like now I'm like super excited for like the unknown and like what's in store for me personally that I don't know is coming. But I think like when you look at other people's lives or like what other people are doing, it's like you lose faith that God has a plan for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I be like this person? Because I don't see myself getting anywhere. I feel like I'm just going to be stuck in whatever place I'm in right now, that I just want what all these other people have, because I don't have faith that God is going to work my life out, in his plan. It might not be what you think you should be or where you think you should be, but that God is going to work my life out for
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
for good, and that I'm going to get anywhere.
Yeah. One of the things I always try to do is just kind of like think about scripture and remind myself, like you were saying, who does God say that I am? Right? Because sometimes your identity can get lost in all of these other things. And it's like, who does God say that I am? And trying to just remind myself of that. And then there's another, we'll just ignore the fact that Olivia just
Yeah, she had to
just
take a little
literally
bathroom
got up
break.
and left. It might have been that like extra big coffee she had on our way in,
Yeah,
but
she had a large from 7 Brew.
large coffee. But so, there's this passage in, I think it's First Samuel, with David and Goliath. And, we know the story. It's a common story. David is, called to fight Goliath. And so, he's telling Saul, like, I can do it. And so what Saul does is Saul gives David his armor.
Uh-huh.
He gives him all of his armor to fight.
It's funny, I was reading about this
You were?
earlier.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
in the car on the way here.
That's crazy.
Well, I was reading about I don't know, when Saul was trying to get David, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. But so David puts on Saul's armor. But do you know what David says?
What? I'm gonna find it. What does he say?
David says, I cannot go in this armor, and he takes it off. Welcome back, Liv. Come on back. Join us.
We told them you had a large from 7 Brew.
I did. I didn't even drink it. I only drank half of it. It was so large, and it was just mixed with my water. It
Yeah.
was just too much.
So I was saying one of the things that I do is to just try to refocus myself, is to remind myself who God says I am. And that kind of refocuses me. But then also I'm always reminded of this passage in First Samuel with David. He's about to fight Goliath, and Saul gives him his armor. So Saul's like, okay, you're about to fight Goliath. You need my armor. And so
Right.
Saul gives him all of his armor. And then David's like, I can't go in this. Like, this is not my stuff. And so he
Yeah.
takes it off. And what does David get to fight Goliath? He is what? Yeah.
Wait, I found it.
He
Just
has
low.
a sling.
Look,
Low
it
rock.
says, what is this? 1 Samuel 17:39. Is that
Okay.
where I'm at? David strapped his sword on over the military clothes and tried to walk, but he was not used to them. I can't walk in these, David said to Saul. I'm not used to them. So David took them off. Instead, he took his staff in his hand and chose 5 smooth stones from the wadi and put them in his pouch in his shepherd's bag. Then with his sling in his hand, he approached the Philistine.
Yeah. So oftentimes for me, I remind myself, like, that's not my armor. Like, I can't go to do the things that God has called me to do with somebody else's armor on. And so it's like, okay, when you're looking at somebody else and they're winning battles, or they're being successful in life, or they're doing all of these seemingly great things, and I'm like, I want what they have.
Right.
And then I'm like, no, because that's not my armor.
You're going to be LARPing.
Yeah.
You're going to be LARPing.
Yeah.
I just learned that word the other day.
Like, I can't be successful in somebody else's armor. And so I have to stop looking at the people around me and what they have, and how they're being successful, the tools that they're using, the things that they have, and focus on what God has given me, like David. And David's like, look, I can't, and you figure, Saul was king, so he probably had a magnificent armor, right? And David looked at that and was like, no, I can't use that. Even as nice as it is, I need a rock and a slingshot. And that's how he was able to fight and win his battle. And so I just have to remind myself. And so sometimes I'll just get these little mental clips where it'll be like, not your armor, not your armor. Like,
juicy.
Yeah. Like,
That's juicy.
not your armor, cares. But it's hard, right? I mean, I'm saying it, but it's also not easy. It's not easy for me at 50. I'm still struggling with comparison and thinking about what other people have, and trying to just always keep myself content with what I have.
Yeah. And I think, like you said earlier, like, it's always in your face, and it's always on something. But something that, like, I started to think about was, like, when you look at somebody on, like, social media or on TikTok or whatever, like, I go back and I'm like, oh, this person's always at the beach, or they're always on vacation, or they just look so happy, or they just this and that, and their life is just like, just so nice. And then
Sunshine and rainbows.
sunshine and rainbow. Yeah. Like, I want that too. Then I go back and I'll look at like my page and I'm like, like maybe somebody thinks like I have my friend, like somebody can look at
Yeah.
my page and think like, oh, she has a great maybe. I don't know what y'all think. But, could look at my pictures
Your
too and be
highlight
like,
reels.
oh, she's happy. She goes places with her friends. She has, her birthday dinner, like things like that. And, you don't post yourself crying or you don't post yourself going through like a hard thing or you don't post stuff like that typically, at least on like very performative platforms like Instagram. TikTok's a little bit more real, I think, with people, but like just things like that. So I have to remind myself, like, I'm not going to post a picture of me crying on Instagram. So I have hard times, but nobody would look at me and know that.
Yeah.
So I think I also remind myself, like, they're also probably going through something that you just don't see.
Yeah. It's a curated grid. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah. Although people are trying to get less curated, like you post like random stuff too. I think people are starting to get back to the old days. Yeah, random dumps, like
I
random
love
pictures.
dumps.
Yeah.
I think authenticity is coming back slowly, but I think more people are trying to be more authentic with their life. Like I think, at least from what I can see, like I think more people, like TikTok is less dance. It's more real. Like it's more, people are posting their day-to-day life. People are posting like good and hard times. Like people are posting themselves crying and the next day they're jumping on a trampoline. Like I think it's slowly manifesting its way into other platforms like Instagram. Like I think it's trying to come back. I think we're trying to like bring the plot back. Like, I think we lost it for a little bit and I think we're coming back.
Yeah. I also try to remind myself, and I'm curious what you all think about this, but just like I'm not in a race with any other people but myself, right? Like
Yeah.
my journey is all about God and making sure that I'm in alignment with his will for my life. And so if I just stay focused on that and I stay focused on what's in front of me and the things that are in front of me, then I'm not looking around at everybody else so much. It's like I'm in a race of one and I just want to finish this race well, right?
Yeah.
I want to do the things that God has called me to do. And so that requires me to stay focused on him, stay in his word, stay praying, and not focusing on all of these other things and what everybody else is doing. So sometimes I'll have these like little mental cues for myself. And it's just like, it's a race of one. Like you're not, it's just you. It's just you trying to figure out what God has called you to do. And you're not in a comparison trap or race with all of these other people. So focus on that.
Yeah.
KJ.
The dog.
Kiwi KJ.
Yeah. That's her name in my phone, by the way. That came from a puppet.
Yeah.
She used to do these little like mitten puppets in the car on the way to school.
Oh my gosh, she did.
That
remember
was
that?
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a throwback.
Yeah.
I was about to whip out that which was it? We were looking at it the other day and because we were trying to find the comparison. Wait, I'm gonna find it. Remember the one that was like, "Don't compare themselves to thyself," and
yeah.
let me just bring that up real quick.
Yeah, bring that scripture up.
Uh-oh.
That was a good one.
It's
Wait, I
2
didn't
Corinthians.
understand it.
Yes, that's why I'm gonna say it because it was so goofy. It was goofy. 2 Corinthians 10:12. For we don't dare classify or compare ourselves with some who commend themselves, but in measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves to themselves, they lack understanding. There's more, but
What?
that was the
They just
confusing
like
part.
compare themselves to thyself.
I don't know. The next part, I don't know if this is like context. Like I need to read the chapter in its entirety. Like the next is we, however, will not boast beyond measure, but according to the measure of the area of ministry that God has assigned to us, which reaches even to you. For we are not overextending ourselves as if we had not reached you, since we have come to you with the gospel of Christ.
Amen.
I think that I don't know if this has anything to do with that scripture. But it just reminds me. I probably should have touched on this sooner, considering the time. But I also find myself. I feel like there's two sides of comparison. You compare yourself to what you don't have.
Oh.
Okay. You compare yourself with people with what you don't have, and then you compare yourself with what you do have.
Oh,
Or at
that's
least
a hard
I
one
do.
too.
I just feel like there's envy and then there's pride. And
That's
maybe
a
we
big
should have
thing.
talked
We
about this
definitely
sooner,
should
but
have.
maybe we can talk about it now.
Yeah,
I
like rapid
like
fire.
honestly, like very honestly struggle with pride a lot.
Mhm.
Like I just like sometimes, and specifically like when I go, like I don't know, when we went to Super Summer last year, which
Mhm.
was like a Christian camp, and like obviously it was it was Red School, like the first year. How do I explain that? Like
It's just your first year of camp.
yeah,
You can
so
go when you're going into 8th grade.
yeah, so like all the
That's
young
you're the
kids.
youngest there.
And I don't know. Everybody, like everybody's in different walks with Christ, and I guess I forgot what it was like. That was kind of like to be like a little more like lukewarm and like just starting your journey with faith. And I guess it's different because I've grown up in the church my whole life. So it's just like some people are just very new to the faith, and I just found myself being like very judgmental of them and like carrying a pride and like haha, like I'm Bible smart.
Not Bible smart.
And like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think also, and it's so hard, like I tend to look at other people's situations and not in like a mean or malicious way in my mind, but it kind of is when you look at other people who maybe don't have the same abilities as you, or like, might have less things than you, or things like that. And it's like, oh, well, I don't have this, but like, brutally honest, like, thank goodness I'm not like this, or thank goodness I have,
Yeah.
I have this, and I don't know what I would do if I was like this. I think that's like a big thing too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were going to an hour to 9:30.
Yeah, we should be going for an hour since we
We only
got
have 4
started.
more minutes.
We have 4 more minutes. Okay. So any last minute?
I think we can bring back that conversation next episode.
Okay.
I do think that part of
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's a good one to dive into.
Yeah.
Part.
Yeah, part
Definitely
2.
part 2.
Definitely part 2. Well, hey, ladies, this has been great. I've really enjoyed my
Been
time with you all this
fantastic.
morning.
I ain't even sing nothing today.
You didn't.
Aren't you proud
She
of?
was going in, though. Olivia was going in today. Love it. Love it.
I was. This was more serious. I won't have a goofy reel.
No goofy
This one will
reels
be real.
today.
A
All right.
serious reel.
Yeah. Well, I think we close like we started, right?
I don't like that ending.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Okay. How do we want to end?
I think we should come back with a song.
Okay. Well, let's just close it this way for now since we don't have another
Okay. And we're
Okay.
gonna come back with a song
Yeah.
next time.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Deborah.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Karis. And thank you for joining
The
the
DOK
DOK Podcast.